I can call me a non-purist. I don't care.
No doubt about it.
No doubt about it. But anyway, they're a good team. We've got two good teams out here. We're looking for a good game today, despite all of the obstacles, aka the blowing and going. See, I didn't say wind. It's like that drinking game where you can't say drink, drank, or drunk. It's an old 80s thing. You probably don't know about this, Robert, but
No, talking about purity, I would have no idea. And,
yeah, you couldn't say the word drink, drank, or drunk, so you would have to say you have to consume that libation or something ridiculous. And, you would end up saying you have to drink, and then you'd have to drink, and it never ended. So,
Fly ball, this one could be trouble. It finds a little bit of green, and Reed Eckert up for a leadoff single.
Nice job by Reed, sticking with it, hustling down to first base, making it.
So nice piece of hitting, that ball on the outside of the plate, and Reed, rather than trying to pull it, goes along with the pitch, goes opposite field, and that finds just enough space, dipping right over that second baseman. That brings up number 28, Harrison Perkins, to the plate. He takes his first pitch for ball number 1. That pitch coming in just at 59 miles an hour as Reed takes a pretty good lead over there at first.
I did see this kid pitch a 64-mile-an-hour too, so he's got some decent velocity.
And 3 pitches and 3 balls. And Harrison Perkins sitting in nice on his pitch count, looking for something to drive. Oh, and a strike call there. I don't mind an outside call. I just don't like the pause or hesitation prior to the call. But we'll see if that ends up being the home umpire's.
And that's out of play. Came close to a fan over here on the first base side.
Well, and that'll make it now a full count to Harrison. So sitting pretty at 3-0, and pitch doing a good job battling back. And there's ball 4. Yep. So Harrison showing good discipline up at the plate, being patient, waiting for the ball to come to him, swinging away when he thought it was there. And that's going to bring up number 9, Arlo Mai. Arlo was with a huge hit in his last contest, going out left field deep for I believe it was a 2 RBI triple. And a strike call. So it does look like the home umpire just has a little bit of a slight delay prior to making his calls. So we'll get used to his play calling here shortly. Now 1-1 count to Arlo. Looking down at third base line, coach taking the signal. Hard hit ball. This gets through the infield. This is going to be good for a single. Reed rounds third, but coach holds him up, and now the bases are loaded. Still nobody down here, and MacNSeitz looking like they're in good shape. That brings up number 12, Paul McClenny. Couple walks and a strikeout in the matchup earlier today on, I don't know if I'd say a questionable call, but strikeout nonetheless. And Paul, definitely one of MacNSeitz better hitters, leading in almost every statistical category, including batting average, RBIs, so on and so forth.
Is this called, when you bat fourth, is that called the cleanup? Or is that, do I have it wrong?
No, you've got that right.
Hey, look at that. Look at the big brains on me.
And so we're hoping Paul can do some cleanup. Do some cleanup here and get some of these runners around. And a nice pitch there. That one coming in 60 miles an hour. And so after pitching 3 straight balls, comes back with a strike. So 3-1 hit, or 3-1 count. And what do I call that? A home run ball.
It's a home run ball. Now we've got what you call a loaded boat. By the way, Grandpa yesterday said, by the way, I've never heard it called a loaded boat. I'm like, me neither.
Hard hit. This one over to shortstop.
Did he get him? Got him. I don't know about that.
Yep.
But got him out.
And so that's 2 down now, and really unfortunate. We've seen MacNSeitz have this happen on one too many occasions. I got to think that coaches have got to be getting on top of the boys at this point, because we've had a number of pop-ups. Your first move should be back to the bag. And so a little bit of running air there for MacNSeitz, and now we had bases loaded with nobody out, and now there's 2 on, still no scores, and
Heads up.
2 down.
We say that a lot at this ball field, heads up. It's wide out in the open. The fences aren't very tall. There's no netting. It's a little precarious. It's a little dangerous. Uh-oh.
And a pass ball, Reed Eckert.
Reed makes it across home plate, standing up.
And that puts 1 on the board for MacNSeitz here early, bottom of the first. And so in our last matchup, a tight back and forth struggle, and that home advantage ours this time, so we'll see if that comes into play later on. It's now a 2-1 count to Jacob Larson. 3-1 count, my apologies. Good hit ball. This is Oppo over to right field. There'll be an RBI single for Larson.
Great hit. That's a great hit.
Larson continuing to see the ball so well. Did we clear 2 off the bases there?
Nope. Reed came in, stole home on a pass ball, and then Arlo just came across the plate for the RBI.
So now a 2-0 contest, favor of our MacNSeitz boys. That brings up number 5'8", Odie Saxon, to the plate.
I like to call this a 2-out rally. It's a 2-out rally.
Well, you know, one of the things that we've struggled with is leaving runners on base. And so clearing the bases here a little bit, although albeit not in the fashion that we would want with a force-off.
Oh, that was a good pitch.
But we did bring 2 runs in, and so capitalizing on some of those base runners.
Oof.
Ball inside, back pick over at first. And Larson back easily. This one down in the dirt. Now Odie up, 2-1 in the count.
And we might as well get it out of the way. The third camera not working right now is my fault. That's okay. I'll take the blame for it. It's my fault. So we only have 2 cameras for this game. Fortunately, the middle camera behind the backstop camera is working and hasn't been hit by a ball yet or been blown off of its foundation thus far. It's going well.
Well, and Saxon takes a strike 2 call. Now a 2-2 count. And Larson goes. But that's a strikeout on Odie. And that will retire the side. So 6-4-3 gets out of that inning without a ton of damage. 2-0 contest, still a lot of baseball here yet to go.
I'm guessing if I'm channeling my inner Odie, he thought that pitch was too low. And, you know, in 14U baseball, when it's close, you got to swing at it. But that was pretty low. But
Well,
Pitcher's doing a nice job moving the ball all over, and I'm not surprised he called it a strike.
Well, and we're in the middle of postseason right now for Major League Baseball, and I know everybody's been tuning in and watching the Padres and Phillies last night and strike three calls. The strike zone is always going to be one of those things in baseball that people love to argue and say that was or wasn't a strike and so on and so forth. But the adage that you have to protect the plate when you've got two strikes on you always remains true. So if you can put the bat on it, you're always better off just trying to put that bat on the ball. And, all these boys right here are learning that. And as you see, even in the major leagues, they continue to struggle with that too.
There is no perfect player in baseball. I don't think there's a perfect player in any sport, but baseball, if you're hitting 300, you're considered, Hall of Fame baseball player in the majors. That's 3 out of 10. That's tough. It's a tough sport.
No doubt. And then the time in between plays, making baseball such a mental sport. And what I would say about most guys that reach the major leagues in the show, very strong mentally, because they're going to have some failure and some success with the game.
There's another big kid up to bat.
And so Jacob Larson starting off here for us in top of the second. Sitting pretty consistently here in the low 60s. I think we also have to consider, too, that the pocket radar only has accuracy out for a certain distance. And this backstop quite a little bit of ways back from the plate. And so the accuracy could be spot on or it could be a little off. This ball in play over to Arlo Mai. And they got him. Runner doing a good job making his way down to first base. He's standing there not agreeing with the umpire, but out number one nonetheless.
That's a great play. What's great about watching the game at home is you can rewind it and validate what you saw in your head, or be like, oh yeah, he was out, or oh yeah, he was safe, or whatever. I really enjoyed watching the game from home today at 8 o'clock in the morning, so thank you.
This one down in the dirt, and it is fantastic. And I don't know if any of you guys that are watching, if you're trying to just watch on your phone or your tablet, but if you can cast that up to your TV at home, I tell you what, it makes for a great experience in trying to watch the game. Obviously, different fields, we have different views, and sunlight, daylight, all kinds of different things create different
challenges.
Stuff. Yeah, but we try to do the best we can out here, and hope you guys are able to enjoy it there at home.
Oh, right back at him.
This one right up the middle, that'll be a base hit single for number 3-4 and the 6'4" Casey Gray.
As baseball parents know, when the game is, 30 to 45 minutes away, you're getting up
dark 30.
2.5 hours before the game at least to try and make it there for an hour warm up before the game. So
ball high and inside.
I think you got up at 5 o'clock this morning, or 5:15. That's an early rise on a Sunday when you're still celebrating your birthday.
Well, I'll tell you what, I gave Tucker the option of catching a few more minutes of sleep or getting up early and trying to get some hits in down in the basement prior to coming to the ball field. And he paused for only a couple of seconds and said, let's get up. And so 5 o'clock a.m. wake time definitely came early, but early to bed, early to rise, and so it was an early night as well. Now 2-1 count as number 15 fouls one down the left side.
Yeah, we didn't even get to finish the Padres-Phillies game last night. Do you know who won?
Yeah, Phillies came back and for another win. And
what's the count now?
They're up in the series, I believe, 3-1.
3-1. Gotcha.
So last pitch down in the dirt. Paul McClinley popped up after gloving that ball, and a little back pick over there, but 6-4-3 back to first base safely. Swing a pitch, swing a miss on a nice curveball, and that'll be out number 2 and strikeout number 2 for Jacob. So pretty consistently right around 60 miles an hour. Curveball coming in right at about 57, so some variation in the velocity, always up and down. Runner goes, and that throw is off the mark. Now runner on second base. So 2 down. Runner or batter at the plate would represent the tying run. Pop up, this is right side. Odie Saxon's going to handle it, and he brings that in for out number 3.
Odie's a baller. It's a great job.
And he's done a great job defensively over there at first base with scoops, taking tough throws, nice stretching out, and all that. So always good to see Odie over there at first. That will bring us to bottom of the second, and number 36, Austin Strength, will lead off, followed by number 19, Tucker Lee. So Jacob off to a good start here. Pitched 9 innings so far here in this fall season. Pitched in 3 different games. And I tell you what, he's done a great job. He's allowed 8 hits, had 10 runs on him, but only 5 of which were actually earned. So a number of errors in that pitching and some of those pitching performances. But here's one of the things that we always look at, especially with youth pitching, and only 4 walks. So Jacob's done a great job there. 10 strikeouts heading into this tournament. And a really nice start here in these first 2 innings. And no runs allowed yet.
Yeah, playing some good defense so far on the MacNSeitz side. Well, both sides. But.
Ever the diplomat, my wife Delaney Lee, folks.
Well, we might have some
fly ball. This one's going to be handled by shortstop.
Oh, he drops it.
Oh, and man, he looked right into the sun. You could tell.
Yep.
He was tracking that ball, no problem. Sun created that problem. And guys, we played on this field yesterday afternoon, about this same time, and that definitely makes a big difference. But Austin Strength will reach base by air, and that brings up number 19, Tucker Lee.
I really like this kid.
Well, Tucker on this very field had a pretty good day out at the plate, but we'll see how that continues here as Strength takes his lead over at first.
Yeah, the first game, he really didn't get much of an opportunity to swing at anything.
No, and a lot of variation up and down the lineup there, but definitely the Grizzly pitching not doing so great. Tucker with a hit over to first base.
He is safe because he had some speed.
And he legs that one out for an infield single.
I'm going to clap.
So these 14U kids still getting used to the 90-foot base paths and how far back can they play, how hard can they throw, and just the timing of the plays and whatnot. That ground ball really should have been charged up on.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Would you normally want to charge that ball?
You know, it was well hit, but kind of died in the dust.
It did, yeah.
And stuff. And so if he had taken just a couple more steps towards the ball, he may have had a better opportunity at that play. But runners now on second and first.
Call that a strike. It's a little outside, but you can't see the plate because it's covered in dirt, so we'll just go with it.
Now an 0-2 count to Brooks Carr.
And the catcher.
And 3 pitches and 3 strikes. That will retire Carr. It was definitely showing some frustration on a couple of those first calls, but that was a fantastic curveball coming in over the plate. That brings up number 11, Evan Book, to the plate. And another strike. So Pitcher for 6'4" Gray finding a little.
Dialing in, for sure.
Ball low and out, now 1-1. So watching this 6'4" catch behind the dish there, getting up out of that squat position, trying to be prepared for a run.
Mm-hmm.
You bet, and Evan Book fouls that one off out of play. Now count on 1-2.
And that came in right across the plate for strike 3.
And another great curveball, and
yep.
So really nice action going from left to right, and coming in there, and boys still getting used to seeing some of these curveballs, but I got it. That brings up number 15, Grant Kelly, to the plate. And a fastball outside corner.
Outside corner.
That one coming in 60 miles an hour. Count now 1-1.
Oh, man.
Swing and a miss. Grant Kelly coming in and pitching an inning or two for us here in this last game. Doing a good job there. And a swing and a miss. That's going to be strike 3, and that will retire the side. Score remains 2-0 in favor of MacNSeitz. So yeah, the postseason for Major Leagues has definitely been interesting this year. I think some of the front runners, not making their way through to the championship series. Dodgers in particular. I think a lot of folks were expecting a possible another World Series showing.
I was holding out hope for the Royals.
Well, unfortunately, that ended about a month before.
Yeah, it did. There was no wild card, 14, 11 inning comeback, whatever it was in 2014. That was incredible in our future this season.
But some exciting young players, and definitely fun to watch some of these young guys coming up, as we see so often with the Royals, a good farm system and some good young talent. Eager to see what the Royals can bring to the field here next year. Padres, giving some credit to those guys, they for year over year have not been able to make it past the Dodgers. They do so this year, and man, they have found a tough Phillies team who looks like they're getting ready to close things out here shortly. But a lot of momentum that way, but game still has to be played, and you just never know how that comes down.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever watched a Phillies or a Padres game, ever. But it's been fun to watch this postseason. It's been fun.
Well, no surprise there, and as we get back to top of the third, ball in play. This
nice.
one, Arlo Mai making a snag and a throw.
Oh, man.
I tell you what, credit to 6'4" batter for legging that one out, but man, Arlo Mai making a diving snag over there at third, keeping that ball in and hopping up and still trying to make a play on it.
I know. Can you still tag him in that even if he didn't get the out? That's such a great stop.
Well, that puts the leadoff batter on base. Nobody down here in top of the third. And strike one call.
Oof.
What is your deal?
The wind from the field back. Oh my gosh. If you guys could see what we see, there is a shelter that has wrapped itself around the fence of the game behind us, and it's gone. It's a goner. It's not repairable, and it is literally like blowing into the other field. They're trying to hold on to it. So you smartly didn't set up your shelter today. because I think it would have met the same fate. I mean, that's hilarious.
Well, Alexa told me last night that the National Weather Service had a wind advisory today. And strike 3 call there. That's number 2 on the day for Jacob Larson. Oh, my apologies. That's number 3 on the day. So Jacob off to a good solid start here. Still one runner on first. That one's fouled off to the right side. And Paul McClenny also up in the up position, getting ready to make a throw down to second if necessary.
Good dig over there by Odie.
Yep, McClenny up with a back pick over there at first, and Odie doing a good job handling that throw. Nice dig by Paul, keeping that ball in front of him.
With the down block.
That's right, and preventing that runner from
advancing.
So Jacob looks over at first. Now comes set. No. So Jacob did a good job stepping off of the mound, but he threw over to first rather than getting over to second. And so 6-4-3 with a little gamesmanship there, and Larson not quite ready for it. Would have expected after that game with Prodigy Teal that all of our boys would have discussed this and been prepared for it. But that puts a runner on second base for 6-4-3. Strike 2 call. Larson up in the count here, 1-2.
We'll take that call, even though I don't know.
Paul digs another one, this one down in the dirt.
You know, that is one thing that's good about professional baseball. I guess you could argue that it's not, because it's not, it's an adjustment with the strike zone you can see on the TV. It's pretty nice.
Okay, this
going
one
to third.
This one getting by Paul, and that'll be ball number 4. That 6-4-3 makes their way down to first, and the runner at second made his way over to third.
Well, I'll tell you, there's about 6 miles between home plate and the backstop on this field. So, very poorly designed baseball field, if you ask me. But nobody has. But I'm just going to throw it out there. Not well designed. I mean, this other field over here actually has grass behind home plate, which you don't usually see. And it's got like 5 miles behind the backstop. I'm obviously exaggerating, but it's a good, 15 feet? 18 feet?
So as the boys get older and older, what you're going to see is the backstop is going to be this far away at all games.
No.
And 6-4-3 now with runners on second and third. As the batter fouls that one off. So the tying run represented over on second base. Go-ahead run would be considered up at bat, and just one down here in top of the third. So Larson looking to make his way out of this situation here.
Did they score in this? Oh, I see. I didn't see the second base player over there. The umpire was blocking my view. I was like, wait a second, when did they score? Never mind, I'm on it.
She's on it now, and 3-8 has been on the ball here with a couple of foul balls. Let's see if Larson can get by him. And he does so here for strike 3, and that is 2 outs, and that's going to be number 4 for Jacob Larson today. Starting off strong. But again, tying run on second. 6-4-3 with one more out to give.
It's a strike. Got it. Oh my gosh.
And if you're out here and not eating a pound of dust, I don't know what you're doing.
Well, I didn't eat lunch before I came out here, and I knew I wouldn't need to because I'd have a pound of dust for lunch.
Lots of nutrients in that, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. That's a strike.
That's now an 0-2 count to number 3-6 for 6'4" Casey Gray. Fouls this one down.
We got 2 outs here.
2 outs, 0-2 count. And strike 3 on a beautiful curveball.
That was beautiful.
Jacob Larson just continuing to rock and roll here. And that is going to be strikeout number 5 just after 3 innings.
Good job, Jacob.
And from an efficiency standpoint, doing a great job pitch count wise as well. So Jacob should be able to continue on here in this contest.
Keep rolling. Now we need to get some runs on the board to pad this 2-0 lead. Just a little bit more comfort level, you know, get some bats swinging.
And best way to put it, give us a little more pad, right? And so we've seen big swings in some of these innings, and so 2 runs is nice to have, but
this team isn't going to go away. It's a very good baseball team, so we got to pad our lead if MacNSeitz is going to come out on top.
Definitely, boys have showed some grit here in the past, and very game 6'4" team. Here comes a Dustnado, and man, I tell you what.
Literally couldn't even see center field. Oh my gosh, I got to get a picture of that.
And so my 10-year-old came to us 2 years ago, maybe 8 years old.
Uh-huh.
And what was the word?
Haboob.
A haboob.
Yes, we did that yesterday in the car. We played a vocabulary game, and he would say a word, Mom, that you think I might not know, and then I'll try to give you the definition. And then he did it, and he was like, what's a haboob? And I'm like, is that a sand? I don't know. And he's like, it's a sandstorm. I'm like, I'm going to double check.
And so first pitch and a strike 1 call here to Reed Eckert. Reed here for the last several games here this fall. Puts one nicely into play, and that's going to be a single. So a nice piece of hitting right there. Lead off batter, and that's the top of our lineup. So we've batted around. This will be number 28, Harrison Perkins, and this will be his second at-bat.
Well, just to close the loop on the haboob, is a type of intense dust storm carried on an atmospheric gravity current, also known as a weather front. Haboobs occur regularly in dry land area regions throughout the world. Our 10-year-old was correct.
So if you're not learning anything about baseball today, then maybe you can learn some vocabulary.
Some weather terminology.
Harrison puts this one into play over to shortstop. He bobbles the ball a little bit and then makes a bad throw over to first. Reed Eckert doing a great job, paying close attention to the action, and he makes his way over to third. That'll put runners on first and third with nobody down.
Or as I like to say, runners on the corners. Yes.
Indeed. And
with no outs.
Nobody down. And that brings up number 9, Arlo Mai. So I was telling everybody yesterday, and if you don't watch the games back, when you're here broadcasting live like we do, we're using Sideline HD as a software as a service.
Oh, no. Get back. Okay. Sorry.
And on my screen, I can see the video, and I can switch back and forth, but I cannot see the scoreboard overlay and the player cards. But Arlo Mai committed to Vanderbilt, and that one always gives me a nice big smile, because could be a self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't know, but fun to see those player cards.
If you put it out there in the universe, a lot of times it comes true. I think it's great. He knows exactly what he wants, and he's a hard worker, hard-working baseball player. So if anyone can do it, it's going to be Arlo.
No doubt, and always happy to do anything coaches ask him. Catching a few innings here for us recently. High fly ball. This one's going to be handled by the center fielder.
Great catch.
Runner at third tags up, and he will come across the plate. So Arlo with a sacrifice fly, and the score now 3-0 in favor of MacNSeitz.
Great hit. Great sack fly. Great sack fly.
Fantastic job there.
Mm-hmm.
And so now over on first base. Surprised he hadn't gone yet, but somebody with great speed. I think we need to test the catcher.
And we're doing that now. And he's safe.
Interesting. He actually had, that's what you kind of refer to as a delayed steal. He didn't leave first base towards second until after the ball had gotten to the catcher. So still showing fantastic speed there.
Well, and actually he could have stolen second base when the outfielder threw it to home. Right?
Well, and he was going back to the base to tag up.
Oh, he didn't see it. I got you. He hadn't tagged up. Okay.
But certainly had he, at first contact, had he gone back to first base, he certainly would have had that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Now number 12, Paul McClenny, up to bat. 2-1 count. Harrison over there on third. Oh, no. Ill-advised. Oh.
He's safe.
And third baseman drops the ball. That one's in our favor. And now Harrison Perkins with a mountain of dust in his eyes. And play just halting for a moment here as this dust continues to swirl. So catcher asking for a short timeout. I think he's got some dust in his eyes. Oh, no, it looks like maybe an equipment malfunction there. So looks like
maybe the wind blew his strap off. It's so windy.
Coaching staff over there working on the helmet for the catcher for 6'4" Gray.
Oh, my.
But Harrison Perkins doing a good job showing his speed and his ability to make his way around the bases. That was a very close play and a nice throw by the 6'4" catcher, and had that third baseman held onto the ball, Harrison definitely would have been out, but as such, they got to hold on to it to get that out.
Now Harrison's pants are the same color as the infield. A dusty, grayish beige color because he's slid into so many bases already today. Those are the kinds of things moms notice. You may not notice, but
that just shows a hard-working baseball player.
That's right. That's right.
Up at the plate. Swing and a miss on a curveball there. Ball steps out, walks around. Now back in the box and ready to go. Oh, he smashes one to the left field. That bounces. It's all the way at the fence. That brings Harrison home. Paul is rounding first and over at second base now. That is an RBI double, and I'm telling you what, he got a hold of that bad boy.
That he did. I mean, that was pretty.
I mean, that was hit so hard, it was almost on a line. And I tell you what, I really kind of expected it to hit the ground and then go over the fence. It did not. So
yeah, I don't know if it was quite that far, but it was beautiful. Beautiful shot.
But a nice shot there, and Jacob Larson looking to help himself out. Now up at the plate. And a curveball for strike one. So our contest now 4-0 in favor of MacNSeitz. However, we've seen this 6'4" KC Gray team come back in the past. And so I am sure MacNSeitz is not going to let up on the gas at all.
No. Nope.
Ball in play. This one over shortstop's underneath the shortstop's glove.
Arlo doing some heads-up base running there and overshot third and has crawled back on his hands and knees to the base safely.
Larson continuing to see the ball and put it in play. That's 2 back-to-back singles.
And I'm surprised they're considering taking 0 out. He's been pitching well. But I'm not a coach.
Well, they haven't taken him out yet, but coaching staff over there for 643 doing a little mound visit here and talking to his infield. Says something to one of the guys, and he's heading back to the dugout. Not sure what's going to happen there. All right, and now we see another player now headed out to center field. Center fielder headed in. And so it looks like we've got some defensive substitutions, and it does look like there will be a pitching change. So 6-4-3 not wanting to let this one get too far out of hand, and elected to make a pitching change here. Again, just as you said earlier, Delana, I didn't think that pitch had done a bad job at all, but MacNSeitz definitely been putting the ball in play on him. And now after you've seen a pitcher once or twice out at the plate, seeing him at a third time definitely gives an advantage to that hitter a little bit. And so changing a pitcher out can oftentimes change the fate of the game.
Well, and this team came here to win just like MacNSeitz came here to win. So, but that makes sense. If you've seen him, you know, on a third try, then you might be a little more dialed in than. So we've got this kiddo's warming up.
Doesn't look like he's got quite the same amount of velocity, but it's still in his warm-up stages here.
63.
This one coming in 63.
Yeah,
so
that's
reasonable velocity for this age bracket.
Yep. Very competitive.
Yeah.
Didn't read that one.
Yep. And I think we probably need to adjust that pocket radar just slightly a little bit, but yeah, it needs to be tilted forward just a bit. Okay.
It's not really interested in moving. That one's 57. The last one said 67, so I don't know. He's in the 50s and 60s. We'll just stick with that, okay? It's close enough. Well, the kid can pitch. That's all we need to know. 65. That looks accurate. That felt like a 65er, okay? What do you say?
So maybe a little higher on the velocity spectrum.
Yeah, he's higher actually.
Oh, nice looking changeup. Nice looking curveball there.
Oh, curveball. Jeez, I can't name pitches to save my life. It's a good thing I don't have to do it to save my life. I would be dead.
You'll see as the ball leaves the pitcher's hand, it actually kind of looks like it goes up and then down.
Down, yes.
And typically left to right if it's a righty. And
that's a curveball?
A changeup comes straight like a fastball.
But it's just slower.
And then goes down.
Oh, okay. What was that?
So runner goes.
What kind of pitch was that?
I was actually looking out at the runner stealing second base, and that puts runners on second and third. Still just one down here and bottom of the third. Ball inside, and what was that first pitch? Was that a ball?
I think so.
Yeah, so 2-0 count.
Mm-hmm.
This is a high fly ball, center field. You got to figure, yep, Arlo is tagging, and he will make his way home. And a nice sacrifice fly by Odie Saxon. And then after that throw home, Jacob Larson makes his way over to third. So fantastic jobs, Odie.
Great sac fly. What you may not have seen on the camera that was hilarious was Arlo, who is probably not known for his speed, got to home, got up, and as he got close to the dugout, he did like the Gerard Dyson. That's what speed do, like the motorcycle, gas gesture with his hands, and that was pretty funny.
Arlo definitely not a speedster on the team, but you know what? Never lacking in effort. Now Austin Strength up at the plate and an 0-1 count.
Well, and Arlo's baseball IQ is probably off the charts, so he read that perfectly.
And a strike three call there, or a swing and a miss rather, and that will retire the side, but not before MacNSeitz improves our lead 5-0, taking us over to top of the fourth. So nice looking pitch there to end the inning by the 6'4" pitcher. And I tell you what, they've shown some good consistency hitting the strike zone and using a number of off speeds, both pitchers for 6'4". And MacNSeitz still finding the ball and putting it in play. And I tell you what, it's been exciting to watch here this tournament.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you were able to watch it.
Yeah, fantastic. So some more birthday wishes coming here. And that birthday celebration weekend just keeps rolling.
It just it will never end. He's a mess. He's a mess. I love your T-shirt. That's super cute. It's ridiculous. Oh, good. Good. Thank you.
And so Jacob Larson, as I expected, does come out here for another inning.
Now, the kid that's getting ready to go up to bat has about 200 stickers on his helmet. I want to know what you have to do to get a sticker from the team, because I want the stickers.
Well, I'll tell you what, this
Dad over here, he might be able to tell me.
Dad over here would definitely be able to tell you, but typically it's when you've done something good.
Well, yeah, but is it like RBIs? Is it strikeouts? It might be strikeouts, because zero's a pitcher. Could be strikeouts.
Yeah, I don't know that you'd really put strikeouts typically on a batting helmet, though, right? It's probably more of an offensive accolade.
Know what? Stay here. I'm going to find out.
All right, fantastic. And so Jelena becoming our field reporter, and she'll hunt down that answer as Jacob starts his batter off 2-0. So 5 strikeouts so far, no runs scored.
So one of the dads informed me that the stickers are he leads the league in what? He leads the league in stickers. That's an accurate statement, I think. Definitely a lot of stickers. You get them for RBIs and doubles and all kinds of offensive things. So we should maybe consider walking him next time he comes up to the plate, given the number of stickers on his helmet.
That's a negative. That'll never happen. But leading the league in stickers is a statistical category I wasn't familiar with before today, but stick around the game and you tend to learn more and more every year. Number 0 for 6'4", earning a walk right there. And I thought Jacob Larson had him earlier in the count, but
they get stickers too for getting hit by a pitch.
Oh, yeah.
And they different stickers for different things. So it's not the same sticker for everything.
So this is number 2-4, if I recall right. He had a big swing and hit earlier. Looks like our boys are playing relatively deep right now. This one, a foul ball down the left side.
If he gets a hold of it, I think it's definitely going to left field.
Hell, I'd be shocked if it went to right, but you never know. And another foul ball. This one dribbling down that left-hand line, or that left side line, third base line.
Third base line.
Yeah, is that what it's called? Yeah.
I think it's the third base line. Or is it the home base? Is it home plate? I don't know.
Regardless,
it's over there by third base.
Now an 0-2 count, and let's see if Larson can retire this batter. Runner goes, throw goes down. That throw off the mark, made it all the way there, but to the left side of the bag. And now 6-4-3 with a runner on second. And a strike 3 call. That's another strikeout for Larson. That's number 6 on the day. And where our fielders don't find it out, man, Jacob Larson's finding them.
He sure is. I'm not sure that would have been called a strike, but we're going to take it. That was a ball. That last pitch was a ball right there. So.
Well, and we've seen some reactions by our hitters as well. And
absolutely.
These strike zones are always a tough thing to.
Ooh, that was a good miss. A little low, maybe. A little low.
See, I like the phrasing, good miss. Good miss means it was close enough that it could have been swung at, close enough it could have been a strike.
Yeah, it's a good term. I didn't make it up. Somebody else came up with that. I just stole it.
Paul moving laterally there and keeping that ball in front of him. Great job. 3-0 count now.
You know, something a lot of pitchers don't probably think about when they're pitching in a dust storm is whether their outfield's getting
fly ball. This one right side.
Oh,
and
dang it.
That one drops. I'm not sure exactly what happened here.
Home. Doggone it.
And
good
batter
running.
Batter will reach on air. That's one of those deals that we just really can't have. That's a gimme right there, but who knows what happened? That wind swirling. Sun's high in the sky. Something I think we would have typically had, but he was reaching his glove out in an unusual fashion, so I'm not sure if he just lost the ball. This one gets by Paul. Runner goes. And no play to be had there. So now instead of 2 outs, just 1. Run scores, and now runner on third. Swing and a miss.
He's 61 thought again. Went back to third.
Yeah, ball just dribbled just away from Paul there, a little bit to the right side, and the runner considered going, but thought better of it after Paul collected the ball.
Yeah.
Hard hit. This is going to be a gapper. This one's going to roll back to the fence, folks. Reed Eckert making his way back to the fence. He's still running to the fence.
Throw it to third.
And this one in for a triple.
That was a monster hit. Monster hit.
So no play to be had on that. Absolute great hit. Reed Eckert making his way out there, but the batter was on second base before Reed ever got back to the ball. And now 5-2 is our score.
If I'm Tucker, I probably should scoot back a little bit. The wind is carrying these two. But I'm not going to yell at Tucker to scoot back. That would be inappropriate. Because I could be wrong. I'm not a baseball coach.
Pass ball, that one getting underneath the glove of Paul McClinney, and something we don't see a whole lot of when he is over on a dig. That'll make his pitch count now 1-1. And again, just as we said earlier in the broadcast, Arlo Mai missing a backhand over at third base. Another run will score. And that now makes the contest 5-3. So Now Coach Max wanting to talk to Jacob Larson. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe wanting to talk about how they want to handle these runners, because 6-4-3 with a little gamesmanship here on how they've been handling the bases. I can't think with 2 outs that they're going to be super risky with some of what they're doing. But some of those bets they've made have paid off. And of course, we knew that this. What's that?
1 out. 1 out.
Oh, just 1 down.
Yep.
I wonder if I hit that button on accident. I don't know what happened there.
Well, you got a lot to keep track of here, so.
High fly ball. This one left field. Left fielder is going back. This one bounces, and it's a ground rule. Nope.
No, it did not bounce over the fence. He's headed home.
And another double for 6-4-3 Casey Gray. That's going to make the score now 5-4.
Now, I don't know. I did say maybe we should scoot back, but that was on a different hitter, so.
Well, it's a little tough. It's you're trying to make a bet one way or the other. Are you going to get a high fly ball that carries, or are you going to get a little blooper in for a hit? And so trying to play middle of the field there is basically where the left fielder is at. Center fielder playing pretty deep, and right fielder, I can't see him. He's in the next county.
0-2.
0-2 count. And curious to know what Coach Max might have said to Jacob and Paul on that very short mound visit.
Oh.
Oh, looked like Paul wanted that one.
Oh, he probably should have gotten that too.
So just inside. Now 1-2 count. High fly ball right side. This one's looking shallow. I think.
Oh, he got it. He got it. Great catch. Great catch. Get him. Get him. Get him. Get him. Nope. Safe. Good try. Good try.
So a little basket catch over there in right field for out number 2. And we had an opportunity to double him off over there at second. But
it was close. It was close.
Throw was a little off the mark, and the runner made his way back. 2 down. Paul doing a good job digging that one and preventing the runner from advancing over to third. Jacob continuing to pitch well. 6-4-3, hitting the ball. And we got a strike call there, so now 1-1 count. And just as I went over Jacob's pitching stats here this fall, we see the same thing happen again. So number of runs scoring, but not always an earned run. My gosh. Play pauses here momentarily. There's another dust cloud. Says hello. Ball in play, over to short. Austin Strength. And that's going to be out number 3.
Great play by Austin. Great play. All right, MacNSeitz needs to get the bats going.
So 6-4-3 doing a great job there and showing a game team ready to play. We knew they would be.
I think this is what happened on the last game. We had several runs up, and then they came out and just smacked the heck out of the ball and caught up.
A little back and forth, and certainly the fact that we have that home advantage this time in this matchup could come into play here later in the day. But you got to think 6-4-3 bringing in some of their better pitchers, trying to make their way into the next round in that championship game. And that's always the struggle strategy-wise, trying to figure out which arm you're going to throw when. But Jacob Larson doing a fantastic job for us so far. 6 strikeouts on the day. Couple of earned runs, couple unearned. And we'll see what MacNSeitz can start off with. Looks like we're going to lead off with Tucker Lee at the plate, followed by Brooks Carr. Tuck right on that one, fouling it off the end of the bat. I know one of the things he has seemed to struggle with in the past is some of that off speed, but we'll see how he does here today. That one well outside. Tucker showing good patience at the plate, leading the team in walks. This one in play right up the middle, and that'll be good for a leadoff single.
Nice job.
So Tucker's starting to feel some rhythm at the plate, and exciting for me personally to see. But I'm sure the team as a whole is excited as well.
I'm sure the team's also excited.
So
yes.
Tucker with a good lead out at first. And Brooks Carr up at the plate. As I expected, a throw back over and pitch trying to keep the runner honest. Why do you say? Because pitch doesn't want him to steal. Got it? Runner goes. Throw will come down. And I got to tell you, that was a good throw by Catch. I think he might have had him had the shortstop caught the ball well, but he did not. And as such, Tucker Lee up at second with a stolen base. Brooks Carr, count now 1-2 or 1-0.
I think Tucker sliding in may have dusted the baseball player there trying to catch the ball, and that's why he may have dropped it.
Could be.
It's a new tactic. Dusting the defense.
Getting a little Charlie Brown pigpen action going. As pitch throws back over to second, trying to keep that lead at bay. Shortstop just standing on second base right now, so no motioning back and forth. Got to think if Brooks Carr is able to put one in play, there is a big hole over there on the left side of the field. But Brooks Carr, left-handed bat, typically pulling to the right, or at least players think so. And 4 pitches and 4 balls. Brooks Carr getting absolutely nothing to hit there. And runners on second and first to start off bottom of the 4th. That brings up Evan Book, and I tell you, Evan's been seeing the ball well as well. And a couple of these boys are really just doing a great job at the plate. Evan showing bunt, pulls it back, and Tucker will make his way over to third regardless. So not sure what was going on there with Brooks Carr, but he's looking back over at the first base coach, and not sure if he missed a sign or if Tucker did something he wasn't supposed to. I don't know. But I would think with Evan showing bunt, there'd been something else going on there. Brooks Carr making his way over to second after a pitch down in the dirt. That one well inside. Just missing Evan Book. And I keep saying Books. I got to get out of that. That's a bad habit. It's not Books. It's Evan Book. It's just I'm saying Brooks Carr.
Get it right. Get it right, sir.
And strike one call there. Pitcher will earn another opportunity. Now a 3-1 count. Fastball in. Evan fouls that one back, and full count Nobody down here in bottom of the fourth. 2 runners in scoring position out at second and third. And again, Evan just seeing the ball really well, coming up with some RBIs here in recent games. See if he can continue that effort here. Another foul tip as he takes an ill-advised step back and swings, but still put the bat on the ball.
He did put the bat on the ball? I thought he just swung.
No.
Okay.
Otherwise, he would have been out.
Oh, okay.
It's full count.
Got it. I didn't hear the count. Sorry.
Evan putting this one in play right over to first base. Oh, the ball bounces on the base and gets by the first baseman. And Evan Book with an RBI.
We'll take him however we can get him.
So add to use your word from earlier, MacNSeitz adding a little more pad to the score. 6-4 now. That brings up number 15, Grant Kelly, at the plate as pitch steps off. Evan paying close attention, makes his way back over to first. Evan goes. And that's going to be a strike, but no throw down. And now once again, we've got 2 runners in scoring position. Grant Kelly there with a ball in play over to third. He's going to get an RBI, and he will make his way onto base.
Nice job, Grant.
So MacNSeitz rolling here in bottom of the fourth. Nobody down. And runners on first and second. Score now 7-4. And now again back to on the top of our lineup, number 8, Reed Eckert showing bunt. He actually puts this one down, lays it down, and that will advance both runners over and give 6-4-3 and out.
And our infield umpire's hat turned into a piece of tumbleweed, blew off his head, and he's got it back.
Well, fortunate for him, a young guy, still a head full of hair. Not a hairpiece or anything flying away. And runners on second and third. Big swing and a miss by Harrison Perkins.
Harrison wanted that one.
Fly ball, this one right side. Runner's going to tag. And he goes. There's going to be a throw on a play at, oh no. Evan Book decided not to go. Fantastic throw from the right fielder all the way into home. And Evan Book, who initially tagged, took 2 steps and then thought better of it. Taking instruction from Coach Brady, no doubt. And so that's going to be 2 down. And runners on second and third. MacNSeitz up by 3. And Arlo Mai up at the plate. Arlo fouling that one back. And this game is just humming along. Bottom of 4.
Grant is way off of second base, but I guess there's nobody back there, so he can do that.
Odie taking a curveball down the pipe, and that one must have just missed low. A 1-1 count now. Whew. This ball well inside, and Arlo.
I'm surprised he didn't wear that one.
Arlo turned on it, and that sent that one screaming to another field. Putting his whole body into it. Let's see if he can get one like that and straighten it out. Left fielder playing well deep. center fielder, right about in the middle of the field. And a strike 3 call on a nice curveball.
Yep, that was a good call.
Arlo.
Not typical of Arlo.
Nope, but like you said earlier, no perfect baseball player out there, and
exists.
all you can ask for is a lot of effort, and certainly have that from Arlo at just about every juncture. So that's going to take us to top of the 5th, and a close one here, 7-4 in favor of MacNSeitz. As we saw in the last half inning, top of the 4th, 6-4-3 put a number of runs on the board and scoring 4. So
we're going to have a new pitcher because I see Jacob at third. So maybe Arlo's pitching. Need to do a pitching change on your app there, Dad.
And
Arlo is indeed pitching.
All right, and so Arlo Mai, who pitched so well against the 6-4-3 team previously, that in the, I believe, Perfect Game Monster Bash out there at the Mid-America Sports Complex. Beautiful facility and, a close matchup there. We'll see if Arlo can continue his good pitching ways with them.
Yes, they had flushing toilets at that field.
Are you saying they don't here?
It's very touch and go. I mean, you have to put a lot of effort into making the toilet function the way it's supposed to. So,
well,
they need to do an upgrade on the old bathroom for sure.
Well, that's Delana Lee with another Yelp review.
I'm just keeping it real.
Arlo Mai pitching, coming into this tournament, 11 innings pitched so far this fall, has appeared in 4 games, earning a couple of starts, allowing 11 hits, 10 runs, only 4 of which were earned, and so some fielding miscues.
I think maybe you could fix the radar gun while we're warming him up because I couldn't get it to fix, so I'm going to hold on to devices and you fix the radar gun.
That sounds like a plan.
Oh, I am holding stuff, but it's still blowing over. This is ridiculous, folks. If you're getting to watch it from home, I'm jealous. I'm envious of you. Because this is stout wind. Oh gosh, there's about every 10 seconds at this field, there's a screaming of somebody saying, "Heads up!" And then you feel like you could die. You're close to dying. I don't know. It's touch and go. Okay, the guy that knows what's going on is back. Okay. And you're back.
So a small little adjustment to our pocket radar, trying to keep some accurate velocity measurements coming in for you. This pitch down and away for ball 1. And so, let me see here. And now a nice pitch for strike 1.
I've noticed he says the word strike and then he delays with the hands. And since we have these like noise canceling headphones on, we don't always hear what he says.
I gotcha.
You need to plug in your phone. Is that what you're doing? That was a ball, by the way.
And so now we got a 2-1 count.
No, 2-2.
And a swing and a miss.
All right.
Got it, baby.
That pitch coming in well high. And 0-0 for 6-4-3 has now a full count. And a walk right there to start for Arlo Mai.
And Arlo will settle in here in just a minute. He'll be just fine.
Always game and ready to go. Very modest lead over at first. And Arlo with a slide step there. Pitch going outside. This one over the batter's head. Paul McClenny does a great job getting up and getting over to get a glove on that ball. Now 2-0 is the pitch count. 6-4-3 not making any real jump out there at first base. And a swing and a miss. Strike number 1. Let me see here. Arlo with 10 strikeouts this fall season so far. This one right over to shortstop, who makes a great play and then an errant throw. But Odie Saxon
Got him.
got him.
Great
Fantastic
heads
play. I hope you guys saw that out there on the screen. And Austin Strength taking a line drive for the out, trying to double off the runner. And runner makes it back, but the throw was off the mark. And so Odie Saxon having to hustle back over to the fence line, collected that ball up and fired it right over to second.
Just sent a rocket over there. It was a perfect throw.
As that runner tried to advance. A lot of fun to watch on that one.
We have 2 outs.
Little pop up right side. That'll be down for a foul ball. And the base umpire, trying to speed up play, decides to throw that ball back over to pitch and makes an errant throw. Kind of gives himself a chuckle and shrugs his shoulders.
And he's like, well, maybe this is why I'm umpiring now and no longer played. Maybe he does both, though. Who knows?
So
He
now,
looks about to be, I don't know, 18, 19 years old. So he's probably still playing. Strike.
swing and a miss. Reaching out to try to get that one. Now 1-2 count. Off-speed pitch. This one's going to be trouble, and if it does, it finds some green grass there just over the second baseman's head. And now 6-4-3 with a runner on first. Just one down, and here we are, top of the 5th. So, no, just one down. You can check Game Changer.
We had a throw out to second, and he caught the ball at short.
Oh, you're right.
Thank
Absolutely
you, sir.
right.
Thank you, sir.
Keeping me honest here.
Whew, I tell you what, it's a full-time job.
All right, a pass ball gets by Paul, and the 6-4-3 runner. See, and when you're trying to do so much of this with, on top of trying to secure all the electronic devices, but we're trying to do some video switching. Got the pocket radar going. I got a scoreboard thing going. It's
And for the record, I'm not allowed to touch any of the buttons, so that's why you're doing it all by yourself. You've fired me a few times from Sideline HD.
well, when you in the past when you have tried to keep track of the balls and strikes, you quickly
Well,
find yourself behind
I
in
don't
the
know.
count. And then,
I watched your 8 a.m. game from home today, and I got to tell you, you were about 50%, 55. I'd give you 55%. So I mean, if 60% is the baseline, then I can aspire to hit 60% accuracy.
60% is nothing anyone in world or life should ever aspire to, folks.
But I mean, you probably should do better than 55 if you're not willing to let somebody else help you.
You're setting the
my
bar
friend.
low, though. But and indeed you are helping, and keeping me honest, and you got Game Changer up here on your device.
Is it Steve doing Game Changer? Thank goodness. Whoever's doing Game Changer on our side.
That's Evan Book's father.
We're glad you're here.
Steve, official scorekeeper.
Let's be glad that we're not the official scorekeeper.
I think Evan was possibly, or not Evan, Steve rather, was not at the first game and had another parent jump in there. Now Coach Max not liking what he's seen after that walk and wants to confer with Arlo, hey, how you feeling? And try to get him back on track. So 6-4-3 typically doing a good job of not leaving a ton of runners stranded, and so 2 runners on here, but 2 down, and MacNSeitz looking to just close this inning out with no damage done.
I always wonder what coaches decide to say to a pitcher, because as you've mentioned before today, and many times baseball's such a mental game, and there's so many things that have to go right to get a ball to the catcher in a strike zone, and that's a strike. And so, you know, Max has to decide, like, what do I say to Arlo when I go out there on the mound? Do I say, Arlo, dude, you're releasing it, whatever, you're doing this or doing that, or just say, hey, you feeling good? You feel like you can get the ball back in the strike zone? Like, what do you say?
This ball outside gets away from Paul, and both runners advance.
I suppose it's different for every kid, because you get to know what motivates a kid or not, you know.
Well, and in every situation, too. And, you know, unfortunately, oftentimes there are not huge adjustments that you can make in any game. And so a lot of times it's just about feeling the pitcher out and trying to understand, you know, are they looking confident? Do they look like they can get the job done? High fly ball, this one left side. And this gets by the left fielder. This is rolling back, and they're not even hustling for the ball.
It's under the fence. He needs to stop to go to second. Go back to second. Yeah, it's under the fence.
And I don't know if the Sun caught that one again, but 6-4-3 with a 2-run double here in the 5th.
In my mom opinion, that number 19 should have had that one, but it's hard to say. I'm not out there playing the sport, so.
Well, it definitely looked like one that he was tracking down. Looked like he had it, and you know, I did see the sun kind of reflecting off of his sunglasses, but man, frustrating. You know, Harrison Perkins was in that situation just yesterday, and he struggled to reel in a few that looked like possibly he should have had them. Tucker finding himself now in that position. So
they scored 3 on that?
2.
Oh, okay. It's 7-6 now.
7-6, and a close matchup for sure.
Oh, and now they're going to let him go to third. I'm so confused.
At 6-4-3, their coaching staff definitely.
I'd say call a white hat today.
They ride their they ride the officials, and you know, knowing the game, certainly well within the rules, and if they're trying to follow rules, but it looks to me like we're going to have an appeal here. So home plate umpire asking for tournament director. Ball went under the fence. I think 6-4-3 is trying to say that the young man was beyond second before the ball went under the fence. That can be the only appeal that I could see possibly being made. But, you know, and in our only matchup here with KC Gray, officiating has been an issue. And so, again, we find that here today. And this is, you know, nothing to do with the boys and how hard they're playing on both sides of the ball. 6-4-3 and MacNSeitz, leaving it all out there on the field. And coaching staff's doing their job to understand the rules and the officiating that's happening on field. And so it looks like
I think they're going to go back to second.
Yeah. And so I think the initial call out on the field, which was called a ground rule double, is telling is going to stand. And so that runner does look like he will end up having to go back to second. And as much as 6'4" may or may not like that call, but still a runner in scoring position.
Yep.
And 2 outs here. The tying run represented at second base. So 6'4" coaching staff walking back to their dugout, shaking their heads, not pleased with the call and ruling on the field, but tournament director right there to support his coaching staff, or his umpire staff. And for once, MacNSeitz coming out on the right side of the officials' appeal.
Good job on our coaches to not let it just go. That's good.
High fly ball. This one is deep. It's going to find some deep grass, and that's rolling all the way back to the fence. This is going to be an in the park home run.
Yep, and they're going to take the lead. And it's, without a problem. Oh, boy.
Yep. And such is the case. And so whether that runner was on second or third was immaterial in this situation, as an in-the-park home run is hit deep center field just to the right. Looked like our center fielder playing just to the left of second base and way deep out in the outfield, and had a long way to go to get that ball. So that will now make our contest 8-7 in favor of 6'4". So 2 down. Arlo Mai looking for another out. Paul getting a glove on that one, and it's a ball down.
That was a monster hit. If he'd have hit that to left field, it probably would have went over the fence. That was a huge hit.
Well, definitely you can see the field distance markers out there along the fence line. 400 at dead center, but 355. And that's kind of more towards where that ball was hit, and it was well short of the fence. I mean, it wasn't close to the fence at all.
No, I get that. I'm saying if he hit it in left field, it's 305.
Yeah, well, right along the line, yeah, possibly so.
It was just a big hit. That's all I'm trying to say.
No doubt.
That's all.
I like that we're still talking about it here as the count's now 2-0.
Oh boy. Well, I can retire for the day. Go sit in my chair and eat some dust.
And here's something that everybody loves: a little passive-aggressive behavior.
Not passive-aggressive at all. That was a strike.
And count now 2-1. This is to number 61 from 6'4", Casey Gray. And what good would a semifinal be without just a little bit of drama? And there's a walk again. So another big young man, number 63, coming up to bat. Hard hit ball left side, and Tucker Lee hauls that one in.
Great. Boy, he barely had a hold of that ball. Did you see it peeking out of the end of those mitt? We'll take it.
Certainly did, and I tell you what, a number of errors happening that inning, continuing to make it go much longer than it should, and unfortunate. Again, not sure if that was a Sun issue, but that out certainly could have made a difference in that inning. So, like I said, a semifinal, a little bit of drama here in the 5th inning with some official calls, but I think ultimately nothing that actually impacted the overall score. And I think that's all anybody can ask for, regardless of what side of the ball you're on. You just don't want an official's call to make or break the game in and of itself.
Well, and I'll tell you, they had some big hits. Big hits.
They certainly came up with some big knocks in that one, and credit to them for coming up and not giving up, even though they were down. But MacNSeitz putting some runs on the board and all but the 2nd inning, I think, and hopefully we can do the same here as we're looking to get at least even, if not ahead, here in bottom of the 5th. So leading off for us, interestingly enough, number 9, Arlo Mai, followed by Paul McClenny. So 2 of our better hitters, and I'm certain that Arlo, feeling some frustration after being out there on the bump, hopefully he can take that out while he's up here at the plate.
Yes, and his last at bat, I think he struck out looking, which is rare for Arlo.
Yeah, had a nice knock for a foul ball that I was just hoping he could straighten out, but he did take a curve ball over the outside of the plate and had a strikeout there.
Make up for that.
Oh, it looks like I am wrong. It looks like this is going to be Paul McClenny.
Oh, yeah, because Arlo would have been the last out. See? Even you make mistakes on that device. Hello. That's a strike.
So a strike call there. As Paul steps out, resets, ready to go. Hard hit ball. This one gets through the infield, and that will be good for a leadoff single. And Jacob Larson, who did such a nice job for us out on the bump, looking for a courtesy runner for Paul McClenny right now. And that's going to be Arlo. So Jacob Larson, who pitched such a great game for us, now up at the plate. I'm sure he's got to be feeling frustrated to see the score go the way that it has. Leaving the game ahead. He takes a curveball for strike 1. Ball in play, this one over to short. He'll get the leadoff runner over at second, and Larson will be up at first on a fielder's choice. And now number 5'8", Odie Saxon's turn. High fly ball, center field. And he hauls that in for out number 2, making quick work of MacNSeitz here early and bottom of the 5th. So in a game that looked like we had well under control with some pad to give, unfortunately that pad has been erased, and MacNSeitz looking to make it even again. That's what Jacob Larson is over on first. He's representing that tying run. And now number 3-6, Austin Strength at the plate. Austin fouling this one back well out of play. So Austin coming up big for us in a couple of different matchups. Obviously looking to get something done here. Larson not exactly a speedster, but he's not slow by any measure. I would like to see him going. Pass ball. Ball hits him on the head, and that caroms off out in the center field. He's going home.
Send him.
He's going home. That's going to be the tying run, folks.
Yeah.
And as happenstance happens, unfortunate for 6-4-3 because making a nice throw down, and that ball just hit Jacob Larson right in the helmet and caromed off in a goofy fashion out into center field, in between actually the center fielder and right fielder. And Jacob showing some good legs there, making his way around the bases.
Listen, based on the condition of the bathrooms, I would assume outfield is like the wild, wild west out there. A lot of hopping balls, running balls. It's way different than...
Ball in play. This one over to shortstop. Throw over to first. And they get him for out number 3. But not before MacNSeitz is able to finally tie that game up. And another close matchup, right? And that's one of the things that I was talking with some of the parents earlier about. That's really all you can ask for is, are these boys playing hard? Are they giving full effort? And are we being competitive in these matchups? And so both these teams seem to be evenly matched up, now seeing them for the second time here this fall. And both contests incredibly close. You got to feel really good about having that home advantage this time.
Yeah, because we've started another inning. We're around 1:35 of game time, an hour and 35 minutes of game time. We at least get one last at bat.
Yeah, and
so we got to hold them here.
And due to single elimination and bracket play, while time can expire, an inning has to be finished.
Correct.
Right, and so since we are starting the 6th inning and the game is tied, the game will not end in a tie. If it comes down to it and time has expired and we still have a tie, just as we saw the last time we faced 6-4-3 Casey Gray, we'll end up with California rules where they'll load the bases, you'll have one out, and both teams will be given that same equal shot.
Is that a 1-1 count too on a California rule? 0-1 count? I think it is. I think there's a strike. You already get a strike at. I don't remember. I shouldn't say that. I don't remember.
So as we're talking away here, 6-4-3 with a runner on second base now. And Arlo Mai still on the bump. Nobody down. And now 1-0 count. Strike call there, and Arlo Mai, typically what we've seen with Arlo is a pretty decent ground ball pitcher, and 6-4-3 getting some good launch angles off of some of their hits and finding some air.
How do you impact whether it's a ground ball pitcher or not? Is it a spin on the ball?
Yeah, it's the movement on the ball. So as you're tracking that ball coming across the plate, you're swinging the bat, trying to barrel it up, hit the sweet spot. And the more movement on the ball, the harder it is to hit that sweet spot and not get underneath it or on top of it. And so if you get on top of it, you're going to see a lot more ground balls. High fly ball left side. Center fielder calling for it. Brings that in. Runner tags. Throw it over to third, and 6-4-3 Gray is up safely. One down. And so 6-4-3 coaching staff peppering our catcher.
He also ran out and gave him a fist pump like, oh, I'm sorry. I think it did hit Paul's mitt, and it popped off his mitt and hit him in the head.
Almost hit the umpire, too.
Yeah.
This ball high outside, coming in 59 miles an hour. Batter calling for time as he's stepping in the box. And a big swing and a miss for strike number one. Ball inside, and that'll make his count now 2-1. So just a recap here, quite a bit of turn of events. MacNSeitz with a comfortable pad here to begin the fourth inning, and that kind of disappears as 6-4-3 putting a number of runs on the board, actually going up, and then here in the bottom of the 5th. MacNSeitz tying the matchup up. But 6-4-3 with an opportunity here to go up once again with runners now on the corners and just one down. So I'll tell you something I'd like to see here is, gosh, can we get a ground ball over to short or second? Can we turn 2? Just one down. Oftentimes when the score is like it is and pretty tight, you'll see corners start to play in, looking for a possible play at home, but not the case right now. And Arlo with a wild pitch. And both runners will advance. That's going to put 6-4-3 up 1. And now score 9-8. So not sure where the MacNSeitz coaching staff is at, if we're riding on the Arlo arm in a ride and die type of fashion, or if there's any possibility of seeing another pitcher come in. I don't know. But Arlo's pitching strikes and 6-4-3 is hitting away. Gotta wonder now, are we in a situation where we might see a different arm come up? So a couple of different walks leading to some runs.
Well, I can see our coaches, and they are definitely over there conferring. It's a strike, swing and a miss.
So a nice change up there by Arlo Mai.
Yep.
3-1 count. And 6-4-3 looking to add to.
All right, here comes Max. Arlo's doing, I think Arlo put his mitt up onto his face so he could yell at himself a little bit earlier. I'm sure he's very frustrated.
Well, I've seen a number of big leaguers do just the same thing, and you know, here in baseball, not really wanting anybody to show emotion. I think that's tough to do for a human being, but these boys learn as they go, and you know, a tough effort there for Arlo Mai. It looks like we will be making a pitching changeover. Interesting, they're going back to Harrison Perkins, and if you recall in the last matchup, it was the same thing. Arlo Mai pitched a gem of a game, and 6-4-3 kind of coming back there late. MacNSeitz going to Harrison, and things not working out in our favor on that one. So we'll see how things progress today. We still have that last at bat. I do think that time has expired.
Well, we're at an hour 43 if it started right at 2, and it started close to that. So we definitely get another at bat. And how many outs do we have?
We have just one out right now.
One out. We need to get another out. We need to get 2 more outs and see if we can get the bat going, which is the super obvious thing to say, but I said it anyway.
2 down?
That's how he got to second. We're already in California.
I gotcha.
So we're at 2 outs.
So once
I'm glad people around us know what the heck's going on, because we don't. We're already in.
Well, it's funny because I got to talking prior to
and we looked up and he was on second.
The inning of the game. I thought I had just missed some action, and no, there was indeed a runner on second.
No, that's correct. So there are 2 outs. And I know Game Changer does not like California rules. It does not like to advance a player unless something's happened. So starting an inning off with somebody on second base, Game Changer's like, excuse me, I don't understand.
Yeah, that takes some advanced Game Changer skills to make happen.
Well, Steve has them because he figured it out. It's accurate on Game Changer. I just didn't realize, maybe it's an hour 30 here, or hour 35, I don't know. Either way, 2 outs. Number 7's up to bat. Harrison Perkins pitching. And it's a little high.
So nice hard ball there, 64 miles an hour. Missing just high. And Harrison's hat blown away as he collects that back and returns to the mound. Looking to close things out here for MacNSeitz. Get us an opportunity out at the plate. Ball outside. That's a pop-up straight back out of play. And Harrison now with a 2-1 count to work number 7 from 6'4" Casey Gray. Ball high, 3-1 count. And that'll walk the bases loaded. So there'll be a force out at any base, including home plate.
Let's hope there's not an infield pop fly.
Well, an infield pop fly only happens, and the infield fly rule only occurs when there's less than 2 outs. Austin Strength doing a good job.
Why didn't he throw it to second? Oh.
And so another single.
I couldn't see how close the second base runner was, but.
So the runner out at first base made his way over to second. I don't think there would have been a play there. When Austin fell down, I think that there was going to be no play at any base at that point. So Casey Gray adding to their lead, now 10-8. And a 1-0 count. Paul doing a good job keeping the ball in front of him. And got to tell you, you know, at times when you see certain teams match up against others, you wonder, does this team have another team's number, you know, at any point in time? But MacNSeitz up for the lion's share of this game, and obviously the only time that it matters is at the end. And 6'4" doing a good job putting the bat on the ball.
Absolutely.
I think that's the rule. So 3-1 count, bases loaded. And Harrison comes up with a strike when he needed it. So now full count.
Foul ball. Staying alive.
This one on the right side, out of play. So nothing funky out on the base paths. No risks or anything like that being made by 6'4" to put some more runs up. Full count, and that's going to be a ball. So runners advance for another run. And you can see the life just getting sucked out of the MacNSeitz boys out there on the field. Everybody looking just a little bit flat here, but boys need to make just one more out so we can get our shot. Harrison comes up with a swing and a miss on that one, and strike one. Ball high, that one coming in 62 miles an hour. Little pop up, this one out of play. And Harrison with an opportunity for a strikeout here.
I think it got one of our MacNSeitz fans who's sitting under the shelter.
Is that Jacob Larson's? No.
Yes.
Is it?
It might be Jacob Larson's grandpa. Okay.
Pop up. This one's going to be trouble.
Oh, doggone it.
And 6-4-3 KC will actually score 2 runs. And a throw coming in from the outfield over to third off the mark. And MacNSeitz just kind of falling apart here. So on a little blooper of a pop fly, and center fielder playing deep, not able to get back to it. Second baseman not making his way back. And now a wild pitch from Harrison Perkins. So score now 12-8. And Harrison struggling with just a bit of control here. One-zero count. Runners on second and third.
Game Changer has the game score at 13-8.
Pass ball. Another run will score, and runner advances.
Dang it.
And MacNSeitz with a wholesale meltdown. Well, I could be behind on the count. I thought I had it right. Game Changer showing it 14-8. They are the official scorekeepers, and as such, I'll go ahead and mark it here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. All right. We're going to go chat with Harrison.
And so Coach Max calling a timeout. Looking to try to calm Harrison down and get him in the zone. But asking Harrison how he's doing, and looks like we are going to make a pitching change. Going to bring in Grant Kelly, trying to close things out here. And disappointing outing for Harrison, no doubt. Such a competitor and always wanting to do so well, but that brings up Grant Kelly. So we'll go on a short audio break here just momentarily as Grant Kelly will warm up. And 6-4-3 with another gapper. That one rolling all the way back to the fence and will be another infield home run. Or in the park home run, rather. So 6'4" Gray coming up with a big hit there. Trying to turn my head here so this wind isn't drowning us all out. But high fly ball, this might be out number 3 if we can reel it in. And diving forward effort, Austin Strength will make that third and final out, but not before 6'4" KC comes up and almost doubles the score. So 16-8, I believe, right now. And we will start with a runner on second base here in these overtime rules, already with 1 out. And we'll see, can these boys show some grit and some character and give it a go here? How that's all going to happen. So 6'4" now out on the field and warming up. All right, and leading MacNSeitz off in this inning is going to be number 19, Tucker Lee, followed by number 5, Brooks Carr. So a tough one to watch as a fan of baseball and also as a parent. And one thing kind of leading into the next, and certainly some things and small things, some of them large, just kind of snowballing. But boys here with an opportunity to show some character and show what they've got left here in the tank. Runner will begin on second base.
We only need 9 runs. No step for a stepper.
Ball 1 high to start. And that ball well outside. So Tucker typically showing good discipline out the plate. Again, leading the team in walks. Had a big knock yesterday for a base clearing triple. Puts one in play. This one right up the middle. Shortstop on the play, but Tucker legs that one out.
Nice job. He had a good hit up the middle earlier in the game too. That one was not as hard hit, but nonetheless he got on base.
Well, that'll make runners on the corners, and I couldn't quite see what happened with shortstop there. And as that ball went right up the middle, the umpire stood up and was right in my viewing point.
He stopped it, but then it fell out of his mitt, and he was stumbling to grab it, and then he finally got it, and
gotcha.
Just half a step too short for.
So Tucker reaching on air then, and we'll see can some small errors snowball for 6'4" as they did for MacNSeitz. Runners now on the corners. Tucker Lee making his way over to second.
It was nice framing by the catcher there to get that strike.
So quite a bit of
we're going to call it again. Okay. Scoot up to the plate.
So Brooks jumping up and down, not happy with the call, and that's maybe the second or third time on the day today.
He's really far away. I don't know. I can't tell, actually. I don't know why I said that because it's all just dirt.
Brooks putting that one into play over to second base. 1 run will score. That's going to be out number 2.
All right, we got 1 run on the board. Nice little RBI. 2 outs.
And so Tucker Lee over on third base. That brings up Evan Book.
Only need 7 more runs. We can do it.
Evan having a good tournament at the plate this go-around. Takes the ball inside. And so the true definition of a 2-out rally, we'll see if we can get it done here, but a lot of heavy lifting yet to go.
Oh, shoot.
And Tucker getting into a pickle. Ill-advised with 2 outs.
Oh, God dang it.
And that will be the end of the game, folks. So 6-4-3 coming out victorious here in extra innings once again against MacNSeitz. So a fantastic game, some great ball played here, obviously some miscues along the way. A lot of room for both these teams to grow as we hope to see them once again out in the 2023 spring and summer season. Unfortunate to see these boys go down after such a strong showing in pool play. But as such, wins and losses are still part of the game. And folks, we do appreciate you joining us out on YouTube and Twitter. Please give our videos a like if you've been able to follow us online and that type of thing. I'm sure we're going to have some more stuff out on social media here in the coming weeks and months, and we'll be looking to see everyone back out on the fields come March of next year. Thanks again for watching and sticking with us.